this is Michelle with Sipology, and today we are doing day number 18 of our 24 Steeps of Tea collection. So as you can see there, it's turmeric and spice, and so the spice is the pink pepper that brings out, I believe, the benefits of the turmeric. Turmeric is very good for you. But since I'm not a fan of spicy teas, we're just going to make 1 cup. I like to spread them out. Since they're not my favorite. I don't like cinnamon. I don't like the pepper in this one. It's still a good tea, and if you like chais and peppery type of teas, you will love it. So it is a black tea, as I mentioned, so I'm going to pour it in there just so you can see it. You can see just how much they put in each tin. It's anywhere from 3 to 5 servings. It's a beautiful tea. I like the little red in there. Very, very pretty. Okay, so we're going to bring over my trusted Breezy. This is my absolutely favorite piece of teaware, and as I mentioned every video, the one in the catalog currently is blue, just like my timer. So it's this color. Okay, so we're going to take 1 scoop, not heaping, just full of the turmeric and spice. And it's 1 perfect cup of tea spoon per every 8 ounces. If you're cold steeping like me, you can either use double the tea or double the time. That's actually quite a bit more than 8 ounces, but that's okay. Since I don't love this one, it doesn't need to be super strong, so I'm not going to add more product to it. So a black tea takes 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to actually take it to 5 since I'm going to use double the time. So on our timer here, it shows you that it's 2 minutes for green tea, 2.5 minutes for black and pu'er, 3 for oolong, 4.5 for herbal fruit, white, and veg, and 5 for rooibos. I always say that word, I'm so sorry. And then 5.5 for mate. So we're gonna let this go for 5 minutes, because I'm cold steeping. I just prefer my tea that way. If I haven't mentioned before, I'm in Arizona and it's just too hot here to hot steep, even in the winter, really. It was in the 80s still yesterday, and I mean, we're in November, so. Okay, so this is a black tea. We talked about this the other day, that it's the most popular tea in the U.S. Mostly Earl Grey's English breakfasts and Irish breakfasts are the most popular in the U.S. They are high caffeine, but they have less caffeine than coffee. But because of the amino acids in the tea, you don't get that high and then the crash. Instead of getting 1 to 2 hours with coffee, like you do with coffee, you get 4 to 6 hours of sustained energy with black tea. So it is a great breakfast or morning tea. It is a full-bodied tea. It's oxidized, so it's no longer green. As you can see, there's no green in here. Just the black tea. It's like a very dark brown. Ours comes from China, India, and Sri Lanka, which is important because you want the teas from their original source, where there's the correct soil, climate, and humidity. Black tea you only brew once, especially if you're hot brewing. It will get bitter if you brew it too long. This one's probably one of the most important to make sure that you do time your steeping. A lot of people are used to, or their first interaction with tea in the U.S. happens to be like Lipton bags or brewed at the restaurant, and you just put your tea bag in there, and most people just leave it as they're drinking the tea, and your first part of your cup is nice and smooth. The middle starts to get, it's really good. The top may even be just not strong enough. The middle is perfect, and then the end will be bitter. It doesn't have to be that way. If you pull your tea out in the appropriate amount of time, if you're hot steeping 2.5 minutes, if you're cold steeping 5, then you don't end up with that bitterness. Black tea does have a lot of benefits. It has antioxidants, which can reduce inflammation. It may boost your heart health, may benefit your gut health, increase your focus, and it can even lower blood sugar. So I think we're going to let this timer run out. I'm going to go ahead and pause you for just a minute while it keeps brewing, and I'll come back and we will pour our tea. Okay, so our timer went off, so it's been the 5 minutes. And as I mentioned, I don't want it super strong because this is not one of my favorite teas. So it may not be quite as dark as if you were to brew just the 8 ounces with a scoop. This is over 8 ounces since this is 16 ounce Breezy. So We are going to pour it, and I mentioned earlier that turmeric and black pepper are often together because of their benefits, and they do. One enhances the other, and it has inflammation. It benefits in lowering inflammation, as well as your digestive health. It helps with digestion. So when they're paired together, it enhances each other, so that way you get a bigger benefit. So that's our turmeric and spice black tea, day number 18. Thank you so much for joining me.